Shalom lekulam. Hi everybody. Here we are with the Mediterranean behind us in a small village town named Elonda in Crete.
In Crete. And yesterday, many of you watched what happened to us on Spinalonga going to the Leper Island, which this is the reason we're even here. And I know that the Lord just revealed so many things. And just a reminder, you know, if you think about it, here the Lord heals the leper, and everybody stands back. Can you imagine what the disciples felt like? I mean, seriously, when the leper comes running up to Yeshua, and of course I'm sure he was screaming, unclean, unclean, and Yeshua didn't back up. I can't even imagine what the disciples were feeling, Noah.
Yes,
and
right.
Then, you know, to see the leper man cleanse, which was part of the prophecy in Isaiah, the Messiah would come and do this.
Right, such a drastic transformation.
Yeah, it still just overwhelms us and what happened on this island. But what we really wanted to share with you, but last night we were so, we were speechless at what happened in the physical on that island.
Right, as you remember in the last time, yesterday we did the video, we told you that we are getting wet and it was getting rain really hard, so that's why we had to stop the video.
Yes.
And then we rushed to the port to get on the ship.
Well, the little I
boat.
would say the little shore.
Yeah.
And we were running through rivers of water through the alleyways, and everybody was just like in a panic, really in a panic. And then all of a sudden we get down, finally walk these steps and get down, and thunder and lightning started happening. And we knew at that moment, this is not a good thing, because we are stranded on this island. And people were just pushing, trying to get on boats. And of course we had a certain boat we were trying to get on.
And I was going from boat to check which one is the right one for us to get on.
Yeah.
And none of them was.
None of them. So people were soaking wet. I mean, I was soaking my red top, bled into my white linen pants. I mean, I was a mess. But I knew not to go under a tree. I knew when lightning. And all of a sudden, I'm standing there, and lightning flashed and struck so close to us. People were screaming, children were screaming. My eyes were like, I thought my eyes went blind. And my ears, I thought my ears just like they burst, Noam.
Yeah.
And Noam looked around after this trying to find me.
Yeah.
And I was about 20 feet away from him. And I knew to stand against the fortress wall. And when this all happened, it happened so suddenly, is what we want to share with you.
Right, suddenly in Hebrew is pitom. Pitom, yes, it suddenly happened, and we were really, not only we, all the people there were really taken by surprise, and
shocked.
add to that,
And fear.
the intensity of the rain, which was downpouring on us, that really put pressure on everybody.
But you know, when I think about it, it was the brightness of the lightning that struck so close.
Yeah.
And people were, like I said, people were running everywhere. Finally, Noam said to me, beloved, run up the fortress stairs and let's get in this tunnel. And that's where, when you were a leper and they dropped you off of the island, there was like maybe 30 foot.
Like a tunnel.
Yeah, like maybe a 30-foot tunnel. People were packed in this tunnel. And yet they made a way for us as the thunder and lightning was just beaming everywhere. And I looked at Noam, I said, I feel like I'm running into a bomb shelter.
Right.
And the fear on people's faces, I'll never forget it. So then finally, one of the lady tour guides on the Spinalonga, the leper colony island, said, Planka, 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 meaning the small ferry boat came to the people of Planka.
Which was us. And by the way, that tunnel reminded us the shelters,
Yeah.
the bomb shelters that we have in Israel.
Yeah.
I mean, now we have in every house almost, but in the old days when we had
Right.
just a shelter, that was something like that.
Yeah.
So that brought memories of the past, you can say.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
So finally, she was yelling that to us. So everybody's trying to walk, and I mean, it was a gusher. It was already flooded. I mean, we were up to our ankles, just trying to get down, 25 feet to the little tiny ferry boat that came. And once we got on, I will tell you, just to be on the water, and thunder and lightning was shooting everywhere. But there was a few people that when they got on the ferry to be dropped off, they saw the lightning hit, and they obviously said,
And the rain.
yeah, and they said, we're not getting off, we're not
Right.
getting off. So I got to talk with them, and again the Lord opened the door about sharing as believers in Jesus Yeshua that, you know where we're going. We know our life is in Him, whether He takes us now or He waits. But this is something, Noah. When we got to the little place of Planka, the little village, of course no taxis were there, the streets were flooded, but there was a beautiful German family with 2 kids. And the kids were just traumatized because of the lightning strike. And so Noma's trying to help them get a taxi. And all of a sudden, he said, where are you guys from? And I said, well, I'm originally from America, but I live in Israel. And he said, oh, I used to work with somebody from Tel Aviv. And of course we said, please come and see us. And he said this to me. He says, after we survived that lightning strike, he said, we were meant to meet. We were meant to meet. That's what it's all about. I mean, the Lord will use circumstances.
Right. It was a very intense circumstances. You can imagine that everybody's trying to push in to get on the boat.
Yeah.
To get out of the island, to get to security, dry place.
So, this is what we really want to share with you. So when we got back, I looked at Noam, and I said, people think that, when the rapture, I call it the Final Aliyah. I prefer that, the Final Aliyah. When that happens, it's just we're going to be missing. I don't think so. It's like the Lord was really impressing on us that, He comes with a command. Yeshua Himself comes with a command. Comes with the voice of an archangel. He comes with the sound of a trumpet in His glory.
And suddenly.
And I told Noam, I said it was like my eyes, the brilliance of that lightning strike right in front of us. It's like I actually thought I blinded my eyes, and my ears were just like it was pounding. And I told Noam, I said, this is what it's going to be like when we, the bride and the Mashiach, and He comes for us. It's the whole world is going to be falling on because they're not going to know what happened. They're going to be blinded by the light, like Paul was. They're going to be blinded like Mount Sinai, and the people stood back in fear. But we're going to be caught up into His glory. It's going to be, I hurt for the ones that are left behind.
Yes.
I hurt because they're going to be scrambling, running into shelters, trying to find something to hide, and it's going to be over with. Then it's going to be over with.
Yes, this experience that we had so symbolized the rapture, as just my beloved has described. It was so visual, so real.
Yes, and even when we got back to the hotel and we were, sopped, we were soaking wet because my linen pants are destroyed. And the young couple walked up with us, and they were on the island and experienced it. They were traumatized. But again, the Lord got to give me a word. And I said, this is what's so wonderful, to know Him.
Yes.
To know Him. We know that we are safe in Him and we know the purpose of our lives, and that is to share the people. When it suddenly happens,
Yes.
we, the people that have cried out His name and know who He is, we're going to be gone. So
Amen.
it doesn't, it's like we live in such a confidence and such a security, but at the same time, the Lord revealed to us, suddenly it's going to happen.
Yes, and we need to be alert because it will happen suddenly. And just like this experience, I mean, it's just amazing how everything suddenly happened. The intensity was really strong. The panic was tangible.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt it was like the movie Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get off the shore,
Yeah.
to get to the safety of a boat. Only on a small scale, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can imagine. Wow.
So we just want to say to all of you, and some that may be listening that don't have the peace, the Lord will give it to you. All you have to do is say His name and say, Lord, I don't know what to do, but I know that You're the answer. And He is the answer. And I think, Noam, the more He reveals this, the brightness of His light and His glory,
Yes.
we cannot comprehend. But yesterday He gave us a touch when lightning strikes and hits right in front of us. I will never forget it, and I know you will never forget it.
Right.
And the
Thank you,
people
Lord.
there,
They will never forget it.
because all the people were in shock.
Right, but it really is the point is how you interpret it.
Yes.
The event that you had just experienced.
Like a thief in the night. Like a thief in the night. But that just means the timing.
Yes.
The timing and when.
Right, because the thief of the night, he doesn't blow the shofar to say that he's here or that he's coming. He's doing it quietly. But it's about his timing, that he's doing it without nobody knowing, nobody's being prepared.
Only the Father knows.
Yes.
Only the Father knows. So we just want to bless you guys.
Yes.
And today is really kind of like our last day. And already we've met somebody else today that we got to share the good news with. And we'll be going back to our home in the Galilee tomorrow.
So we are praying that the Lord will increase your discernment of the events and circumstances that you're experiencing in your life, that you will see it through His eyes, and you will benefit from that, and your faith will become stronger. In Yeshua's name we pray. Amen.
And I just want to say this. Don't get distracted by stuff that is going on, because the enemy will use everything to get you distracted on preparing the way of the coming of the King. Preparing the way means speaking out. Don't get distracted, because like I said, the enemy will do everything to get you off of your path of what you are called to do. And so we thank you again for being there with us, for praying with us and seeing us through this, and listening to the latest word of suddenly, which is in Hebrew is
Pitom.
Pitom.
But I know the scripture that suddenly came to my mind is 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3 and 4. It's talking about being a soldier for the Lord. That the soldier is focused on the Lord and His activities and not on the world. So the world doesn't distract the soldier of God. So that is what we need to be. We need to be soldiers of God in Yeshua's name.
We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.